great day, beautiful people. Happy Friday, because it is Friday. You know, some people are happy because they get off at 5, 6 o'clock. They don't have to go back in until Monday. Cool toes. Okay, I'm just sitting out here enjoying the sun. I have cerebric, I'm sorry, I hope I'm saying it right, dermatitis, so my scalp has to get some sun. My face too, because it comes in my face sometimes. When I am really truly stressed and anxiety is on 10 for days and I'm not eating right. I'm still not eating 100% like I want to because I'm still trying to figure out how I want to eat. What's good for me, what's going to keep my body energized, what's going to cleanse it, what's going to take care of it. Everybody say fruits and vegetables. I don't know. I don't know if I could just sit and eat fruits and vegetables all day, every day. Not right now. I've gotten to that point at one point, and then I kind of reverted back, kind of sort of in between, and then it's just like a up and down roller coaster with that right now. So I'm trying to really figure that out so I can stick to it no matter where I go. But I'm just sitting out here just thinking, I'm like, we hard level just get to sit and just think and just enjoy the scenery. Maybe once or twice a week, if that. But we just never really get to sit and just think. We really don't. I was thinking about that as I was walking today. Some days I try to do an intentional walk. Some weeks I'm well over it. And then, not over it, like done with it, but like I try to do at least like 10,000 steps a day. Not every day, but at least once or twice a week. Sometimes I can get 3 or 4. So when I'm out, I'm just thinking, And what I realized is that being by yourself, spending time by yourself it's imperative. You get to think for yourself, clear your thoughts, cleanse your mind, think for you. And it's heaven. Picking up on other people's energy all day long, Lord have mercy. I don't see how y'all do it. The jobs that I work, or that I do, I should say, one consists of me being around a couple of people. One of them is just one person, and then the other one, I technically don't have to physically be around anybody, but I do have to communicate with a couple of people, and so it's still energy, okay? So I can only imagine being around a group of people Monday through Friday, and then family on the weekend. And it's like, when do you ever get to spend time by yourself, right? I noticed that we're always working, we're always busy. Do we ever just take some time out of our day, maybe 30 minutes, working your way up 30 minutes to an hour, even if you have, time to spare for at least 2. I can think of a million things I could be doing in this moment, but right now I need to sit and I need to think and I need to just breathe, okay? Staying busy all day long, it just clogs the brain. And I'm like, I can't see myself doing that now. Now, when I was younger, okay, I just felt like the life that I was living was just that. That's just what it was. So it was like a cycle of doing the same thing every day. On the weekends, just the same cycle. And then when something told me to step out on faith back in 2020 and just quit my job, when that cycle broke, at first I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what to do with myself because I was so used to that same cycle. And something was just like, just continue to try different things and open your mind to different ways. And that was so hard. It was so very hard. It was sometimes very painful because of course you get judged. But it's like learning a new way of living. And that can be stressful when you base it off of how you used to live, right? You compare what you have now and what you're going through now to how you used to live versus looking at it as, okay, I'm heading into a different type of living, like a different type of life, a different life. And that takes time. And I didn't even realize that's what it was. I mean, I realized that I wanted to start a business, and that idea came out of nowhere. Like, it was just a thought, just out of nowhere. And from there, I don't even think I had the business idea before I quit the job. Something was just telling me to quit, and so that's what I did. And it did take me a minute. It took me a minute. I cried about it. I prayed about it, at the time. And I'm always going to say this. I felt like it was God speaking to me. But breaking that cycle of living that same quote-unquote reality was very hard because, of course, you get judged for thinking outside the box. And some of these things were just coming to me. A lot of it, I felt it was spiritual. It was very, very spiritual for me. I prayed about a lot of things. I still pray about a lot of things. I still meditate on a lot of things. And something just tells me to continue to go, continue to be, and just continue to flow. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And to trust, when you're dealing with the physical realm of people, trust is a hard thing. After a while, you start realizing, like, dang, I thought I could trust you. But then you realize it's not so much about you trusting them, it's about you trusting yourself. And knowing that you cross paths with certain people, or cross paths with people for a reason, right? So you have to decipher, sit back and think, okay, what was this supposed to show me or teach me, or what was I supposed to get from it? So it's not so much of people breaking your heart, or oh my gosh, everybody is just betraying me. You have to look at it, because not everybody is quote unquote betraying you. You really have to just pay attention, because some people don't even realize don't recognize what they do. Like, you may notice it, but they may not see anything wrong with it. And a lot of people are like that. Like, some people don't know how to take accountability because they're not self-aware. You can't expect somebody that is not aware of themselves, or self-aware, basically same thing, to be aware of their ways, because they don't see themselves. And so even when you point it out, it's like they see nothing wrong with it, but then they haven't really sat back and really looked at their ways and say to themselves, well, hey, if somebody was doing me like I was doing so and so, or those people, how would I feel? That's the level of self-awareness I feel like people need to get to. So when I think about those things, I feel like once we get to that level of self-awareness, we could coexist on this planet. We could truly coexist. But I don't know how long that's going to take. I feel like, as I feel like God was telling me back in 2020, we are living the Bible backwards, okay? Revelations comes first, Genesis comes last. And I feel like Genesis is that harmony. You know what I'm saying? Like, we find that harmony across the planet, not just between, Adam and Eve. It's the harmony just across the board, across the collective. But I think that's going to take some time, and then by that time, hell, by that time, being on this planet may be boring, but then it may not. It may just be full of love. I feel like that's the purpose. That's the direction of humanity right now, is to get to that. I don't think we were ever at that. And so when people say this, they want this old school love, it's like you're living in your belief, your mind, that just because your mom and dad or granddad or grandma or great, just because they didn't tell you that they had issues, you believe that their love was perfect. But we are so unaware of ourselves that we don't know what love is. And I feel like once we are aware of ourselves, then we recognize what love is. Self-love is so totally different from what most people think it is. You know, yeah, you can go get your hair done and your fingernails done, and yes, you can take care of your outer appearance, but it's also about protecting your peace and taking care of your inner self as well. It's also about dealing with yourself and healing yourself, so when you are out, you're not quote unquote harming others. Now, you do have to have a balance, because as you heal, you know, you're going to get to a point of thinking, okay, well, I have to be nice to everybody. I have to be, but there still has to be that balance, just the same way it is on earth, right? Just the same way it is here. There still has to be that balance. You got your quote unquote good, quote unquote bad, whatever. You have to balance that energy out within yourself. So that's that God and that's that devil. But you got to know, I feel like this, my thing of it is, you have to know when to attack. And you're not going to ever be perfect. That's one thing that I've realized. You're not going to ever be perfect, and life is not going to always be love and light and positivity. And when you run into those people that's always uppity and positive and all that, sometimes they be the main ones dealing with things internally. So you have to really be mindful. And then some people have learned how to just deal. And that's what I'm learning right now, is that life is going to have its ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you have to work on you and pay attention to you. Everything else, I ain't gonna say don't matter, but you have to prioritize you. So with that being said, spending that hour or 2 hours by yourself, self-reflecting, praying, meditating, reading, writing, walking, running, whatever. I feel like even when you're exercising, with me, it's not so much of, oh my gosh, I just want to get fit and look good. That's a part of it. But it's also about taking care of my mental health and clearing my thoughts and, you know what I'm saying, relieving a lot of tension from within. So it's not always just about the physical. Like I said, it's also about taking care of your inner being as well. So make sure you get out and clear your thoughts. You know, think for yourself, read, write. You know, ask yourself, you know, what is it that I am truly interested in? Besides what I do, what is it that I'm interested in? And when you really start spending time with yourself, the answers will start coming to you. You'll realize you are interested in a lot of things, and your mind is multifaceted. Like, our minds are, they are very powerful. They're very interesting. Okay, if you ever study your thoughts, your mind can go 1,000,001 places. Okay, so just spend some time by yourself. Get out in the sun today if it's sunny. If not, if it's raining, whatever, still get somewhere by yourself. Pray, meditate, read, write, cry, release, whatever you got to do. But I got to go. Peace.